we're going to be telling the scariest moments of our lives. I think I speak for everyone that we all went through like a near-death experience. I'm going to be talking about something that still affects me today. It still haunts me. I still think about it.
I don't want you to trauma dump on our audience, bro.
I want you guys to also experience my trauma, so now I don't have to experience it alone. Now I'm going to traumatize all of you.
No.
So I was a little Sox living with my parents. Things were not going the best that day. My mom was driving me home from tennis practice, and she was already upset with me. I played a tournament recently, and I didn't win any of my matches.
So you suck.
I lost normally. I lost in the loser bracket, and the thing is, they require you to play at least 3 matches. So I lost, and they made a whole new bracket just for me, probably called the Losers, and I lost in that.
So you're a triple loser?
A triple loser.
So you suck.
That's what my mom was telling me all the way driving me home from tennis practice. She was ranting on why we spent so much money on me on tennis. If I wasn't even gonna win a match in a tournament. As I was crying in my seat, I was just having a bad weekend.
Excuses.
That's what she was saying. You're acting like my mom, Tuxie. Are you sure you're not hurt?
I'm with your father right now.
Whoa.
The
As I was trying to explain myself, that just seemed to go through one ear and out the next. I just got scolded all the way home. My mom does this thing where like she scolds me for 5 minutes and then it's quiet and then she goes again in 5 minutes. We were making our way home. The car was making its way into the garage. I noticed something inside the car. A giant red ant. It was weird seeing ants inside the car. Like I see them outside all the time, but like inside the car, it's off-putting. It was just one ant. I dealt it with my finger.
You killed it?
Yeah, I killed it. Yeah, it was crawling in the car. But as I was doing that, I felt something crawling over my arm.
No.
Ants. It wasn't just a couple. They were everywhere. All over the car seat, all over the windows. My mom was already inside because I was still crying in the car. So there were just ants all over the car. Turns out I had a Gatorade bottle. It was in my tennis bag that was outside. So probably when I was playing the matches, a bunch of ants got inside my tennis bag. And since the bag is in the car, all the ants had been released into the car.
Freedom.
In a panic. I'm like mid-crying. Ants are everywhere. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, I'm just smacking the car everywhere. I'm freaking out. I'm hoping none to get under my shirt. Or even worse, like my underwear.
Ants in my pants.
I think I took out probably the entire army. And I unbuckled my seat and I ran out of the car. The thing is, I still have that thing where like if I feel bugs, I think about it all the time.
I get those when I'm laying in bed and I feel like my hair moves. And I'm like, oh!
I get that whenever I see one singular ant on the floor in my room and I kill it and I'm like, oh my god, I have creepy crawlers over me. Oh, I hate that.
I ended up taking off all my clothes, except for my underwear. My shirt came off, my pants came off, my socks came off.
The socks came off?
That's serious. The thing is, we're not even at the scary part. I'm like crying and I'm like mid-screaming. I'm like, there's ants in the car! And I'm like running out of the car and I run into the house. My dad, first to respond. He came to assist me. My mom probably went to go lay down, like she was done. I told him there were ants in the car. Went to the car, opened the door, checked up, down, left, up, middle thing.
Is he like a ninja or something? How does he do it so well?
He didn't find anything. He didn't find a single ant.
What?
The thing is, I'm still freaking out. I'm like, look, Dad, there's ants in the car. I'm freaking out. My dad is a very, like, I would say rather calm and collected person. I've never heard him shout. The thing is, he was probably already upset after hearing my tennis performance.
He's gonna beat you now. I paid too much money for you to go 0-6.
He was probably already upset. He probably heard from my mom. My mom probably texted my performance to my dad, and he was probably upset that I literally lost every single match after probably pouring in thousands of dollars into me for tennis. He snaps. There is no ants in the car. When you hear your parent for the first time actually snap after you never heard them snap,
It is so scary.
I stopped crying and I just felt scared. I'm standing there looking at him in my underwear.
I forgot you were in underwear.
I pick up my clothes and I just walk into my room. You know when you're ever just so upset, I don't leave my room for like the rest of the day. I don't go for dinner. I don't go for nothing. I literally just spend the rest of the day in that room.
Did you even grab clothes to wear? Did you just stay in your underwear in your room just face down on your bed?
Do you think you were genuinely tweaking, or do you think they're
if I was,
actually there?
no, there would definitely answer the car.
If I was an ant, bro, and I saw your dad looking for me, I'd be terrified, bro.
But that is the scariest moment. What about you guys?
Mine's kind of like, you guys are here for this. This is when we went on the isolated trip. It was generally kind of terrifying. We're all hiking, you know, all of us hiking together. Me, Stacks, and Oof went to go hike up this huge mountain.
Yep.
It's like 30 miles
I
up.
remember
And this
this
little
video.
tiny cabin.
Yeah, we were going to the most isolated, in quotations, hotel hell. This was just like a fire lodge in the
Yeah.
mountains.
Literally, that little tiny house. So we decided to all climb up to. Oof is pacing ahead, and I'm dying. We reached one checkpoint. We take a few breaks, and we refuel with the
Checkpoint.
water. We
And
filter out the
Jackson
water.
being
We get
drunk.
more water, and we sit down and rest. We go to the second checkpoint.
That's where it really started to kick in. You were already at your breaking point, and we pushed you beyond.
Yeah, literally beyond. Like, I literally don't even remember anything. The sun was dropping, and we decided, because we had a flight the next day, we decided if I go, we were going to take too long and we are going to miss our flight. We had to be there tonight. You can't hike in the dark, because we're going to be on, like, this dangerous mountain, and if you slip and fall in the dark, you're just done.
Right,
I can see that.
We can't afford to make mistakes in the dark. We decided it was best for everything and everyone if I stayed behind and camped out at the third checkpoint. I was like, okay, bet. I'm okay with that.
As Oof and I were hiking, I was like, I had to sit down multiple times. It was tough.
Yeah, so imagine me on there. We would have been there for an extra 24 hours. And the thing is, we were so high up that there's no animals, nothing. And there was also a wildfire going on, so it was hard to breathe. Like, there was smoke everywhere. No, and like, there's no one around us. It's just wilderness. And I decide, okay, I'm gonna camp this out. They end up leaving. It's still somewhat sunny, but like the sun is dropping. While they leave, I could hear their voices slowly, and like disappearing.
Dude, that's scary.
Up, all the way up in the mountains. I was all alone.
Dude, okay, looking back at it, that's probably the stupidest thing we could have done.
I lay down and like I slide over, resting on my cheek. I'm like, huh. I open my
Wait,
phone.
that's bad.
Zero signal, bro.
No bars.
Nothing. As the sun dropped, it was pitch black.
We took 99% of all the batteries and lights because we needed it if it got dark during the hike. We stripped Nadway. We left him with basically nothing.
Only thing they left me
Okay.
for was just a little peanuts. That's all they left me with.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
those peanuts were so good, bro. Oh my gosh.
I really have to go pee. I open up the tent, nothing. My eyes are not receiving any light. No light is reflecting off my eyes because it's just darkness.
There could be bears.
I turn on my phone flashlight.
Yeah.
I actually took a video. I turn on my phone flashlight to go
God,
pee,
no,
and I just go like to
this
this nearby log and just pee, and like I quickly hop back in the tent because I'm like, no, at least this tent will protect me somewhat. While I'm sitting in the tent, I'm just staring at the ceiling of the tent. I'm like, what if they don't come back?
Oh no, you started tweaking.
Oh.
If they don't come back, what am I gonna do? I'm stuck on this mountain. I don't know my way back. So I'm like, okay. Try not to think about it. Let me just sleep, and then when I wake up, they'll be here. I hear this cicadas and something, and I open my eyes. It's the morning, and no one is there. What time is it? What is happening? Oh my god, I was definitely tweaking. I'm like, no, bro, I have to sit here for how long? There's nothing to entertain me. I'm just sitting in that tent all alone.
By the time we hiked up,
Yeah.
we didn't get there till like really late at night.
They had like a nice time up there. I was suffering. I didn't know, dude. The scariest feeling ever is just not knowing what's happening with your friends. I wish we
Yeah.
had some form of communication, but we don't.
Yep, next time, walkie-talkies.
How did we not think of that? What?
You know what I hear? That brings me the
That's
biggest happiness
stupid.
ever. I hear a whistle. I don't know who blew that whistle.
That was me.
Yeah, I instantly jumped up and I was like, I felt the greatest like relief and joy I've never received in my life. I'm like, oh, they didn't forget about me.
They survived just for me.
The feeling of isolation hits you when you're in that state.
What'd you do? Did you just stare at the tent wall?
All I did was sleep and stare at the ceiling. That's literally all I did.
Nadway's story is a little bit scary, but mine's even scary. I even have like a scarier story, which is it's hard to top. Back in my day, I used to go to a Chinese school, and since it's a Chinese immersion school, they had us do a whole bunch of like
Oh my
Chinese
God,
culture and stuff. But one of my
Chinese are
classes was
idiots.
Chinese dance, and so you can imagine
Oh,
me, a little white boy
Chinese are-
American, you know,
are the
doing
worst.
Chinese dance. It's not my thing. I was a
Worst
pretty good
to
student in school.
Chinese
I got like
people.
A's, and I got like 1B, but Chinese dance. Oh my gosh. I got a C one time. Listen, this is super scary. Listen, guys.
There's a rule in Asian culture. A is average, B is bad, C, you're gonna die.
This wasn't even a report card. This was on like an interim. It's a progress report, just to see how your kid's doing. And I'm like, oh my god, I've never had a C before. Like, I gotta bring this back to my parents. They're gonna kill me. I've never had it.
Why would you snitch on yourself?
I put it in my book bag and I went home and I slept with it under my pillow and I was like, I hope it changes to an A. I hope it changes into an A.
Or you might accidentally like spill some magic sauce on it and it just transforms into an A.
I wake up, I'm like, oh my god, it didn't change. What am I gonna do? My parents know, like they got an email saying interims were sent out, so they were expecting me to give it to them. My mom, she's looking at me and she's like, hey Jackson, where's your report? Where's your interim at, man? And I was like,
I only bring your report cards back. What are you talking about, Mom?
She was like, well, your brother got one. He's in the same classes as you. Where's yours at? I'm like, oh, I don't know what that is still. I have no idea what you're talking about. And she's like, give me your book bag. I'm like, oh my god.
You're
I'm like,
dead.
okay.
She whips out the full name.
No, she said, oof is too short. Where is
Oh
your
my, you know when she flips out the it was too short? Oh, he's getting serious.
I literally thought I was gonna throw up right there.
Oh,
That was so
dead. dead.
nervous. I hand it over to her. She reads it off. Says, oh, A in social studies. Oh, that's pretty. B in math. You could get that up. You know, it's okay. Maybe next time. C in Chinese dance? Are you a son of mine? No son of mine is gonna get a C in Chinese dance. I'm like, Mom, what do you mean? It's a Chinese dance. I can't dance like the Chinese do. Like, I'm not a dancer like that.
Yo, what boy?
I'm a white boy. I just rip and that's all I do. She was like, young man, I'm gonna give you 2 days to get this fit. 2 days? We don't even have a new dance in 2 days. And then she was like, I don't care. You're gonna go talk to your teacher. If you don't get this grade change, I'm taking your computer away for 2 months.
Kill Chinese people.
No, Fortnite.
I
Chinese
was on my
people
biggest
are
Minecraft
evil.
phase at this moment. But my mom took it away. It was 2 days. We did nothing in those 2 days. And I was like, Mom, so I will put my hand on the hot stove. I will do it. And you will be the worst parent ever. She was like, your computer's gone until your grade gets back up. So I didn't have a computer for 2 months. I sit on my phone watching YouTube. And it's okay. It doesn't suffice Minecraft, but it was okay at the time. The report card
Chinese
comes. I look at the
people.
grade. I'm like, oh my God, it's a B. A B is okay. A B is okay for her. This was on a report card, so it's different. This is the final grade. This isn't like the middle of the grade. This is one of the final grades for this quarter. She might beat me for this. The computer is not the only thing getting taken away. My life's getting taken away. I give it to her. I'm like crying. I have tears falling on the paper. I'm like, Mom, I gotta pee. And she's like, oh, okay, that's fine. I'm like, what? What do you mean that's fine? You took away my computer for 2 months for a 79? Are you serious? She's like, oh, you gotta be. It's okay. I don't care.
That 1% matters, bro. You don't
The
understand,
1%
bro.
made me get a C, and it's because I didn't have my hand movement right or whatever. I didn't put my foot in the right spot. Literally, what happens is I get my computer back, I get back on my Minecraft account, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can finally
And
complete my
he's hating
game.
Chinese people.
Thank you, Mom. And that was the scariest moment in my entire life. I didn't have a computer for 2 months.
I couldn't even imagine my life
White
without a computer.
people
Sorry, now for
and
for
black
beating
people
you in your
good.
story. I'm sorry.
Chinese
I do have a scary
evil.
story about a dentist.
They
I
are.
actually went to the dentist. So when I was like a kid, I had a
Lies.
filling in my baby teeth. This is when I was a baby.
Lies.
How do you get filling into your baby teeth? It's gonna fall
I
out.
was like 7 years old,
This is
right?
a
And I went to the
lie.
dentist, and then they told me I need a
Why
filling. But it
do
wasn't only
you
one
need to
type
be a
of filling.
liar?
You know, they put like the whole crown over your tooth. When my tooth, when it was wobbly and it was like a baby tooth and it fell out, my filling fell out in the dentist, and I nearly choked and I nearly died.
Oh
They
my
tried to
God.
kill you. Your teeth were in such bad shape, they just tried to take you out.
As an American who eats a lot of candy, I've actually never had like a cavity before.
Anyway, I'll go on to the real story.
Oh, that was a warm-up.
You need an appetizer before the meal, you know what I'm saying?
So basically, I was a little juicy with my little school backpack. So that we sat down in the classroom, and then the teacher comes in and goes, "So we are gonna go to boat school."
Boat school?
Boat
In primary school,
The
they
hell?
took us to boating school.
Are we talking like kayaking, or are we talking like boats, like sailboats?
Yes, sailboats. We arrived
Oh my
at the
God.
boating school with the class. You know, I went to school with my cousin as well. So I pedaled my cousin. We was dressed up in our dungarees.
Dungarees? What are dungarees?
You guys never seen these?
Over here, it's called waiters.
I put these on, strapped on my life jacket. I was prepared. I was ready to sail my boat. So we got on this boat and we had to do like set up the sail and stuff like that. I was enjoying myself. I was sailing
Yeah,
the
the
boat.
British
I was a
enjoy.
proper sailor. I always felt like a pirate. Subscribe to the
British are
channel
not
or I'll make you
pirates.
walk the plank until there was an iceberg. I'm joking. Okay, it wasn't. It wasn't an iceberg. It was a big bush in the way.
Like seaweed?
There was a small island. There was a bush on the island, and I couldn't swerve out the way. And you never guess what? We went crashing into this bush.
Game
the
over.
boat capsizes, flips over. I fall off the boat, and
Wait, do you know how to swim?
I was like 8 or 10 years old. Don't worry, it wasn't actually in the sea. It was like a pond.
How do you hit a stationary bush?
Listen, I tried to steer out the way, but you know,
Go for
boats,
it.
the steering is reversed, so it caught me off guard, and I veered into the bush, capsized, and I'm floating in the sea with my little life jacket. I'm like, save me, please. The people are looking at me and laughing. They're like, oh, Juicy capsized.
They're laughing at you?
Paddling my little arms and my legs. I'm like, no, save me. But I had a life jacket. I was floating. I was chilling. I was okay. And then the lifeboat came over. I got saved. I was fine. And then I had a nice Sunday roast that evening.
That is the scariest thing I've ever heard Josie. A Sunday roast.
That was scary, Juicy. I peed my pants. I'm not even lying.
Ooh, that's gonna be hard
The
to beat.
British.
Anyone else nearly drowned?
I didn't nearly drown, but I've had a couple near-death situations.
A couple.
Yeah.
Juicy, are you safe in Canada? Do you need to move down to the United States?
I don't know about you guys, but I feel like there's been like a lot of situations where you don't realize they could have died, but like you probably could have died kind of situations. You know what I'm talking about?
Like you're just so naive as a little kid, you don't even recognize it.
Have you ever ran across a road without really looking both ways when you were younger?
No, my parents taught me. They raised me good. They valued my life.
I went to go cross the road to get KFC with my dad, and I ran out in the middle of the road, and he had to come save me.
I actually had something similar
Oh my
happen,
God.
pretty much. I went to my friend's house, had a wonderful time. We were playing Lego Star Wars at his house. We ended
Lego
up going on a
Star
walk because
Wars.
my mom was picking me up from a certain location. We
Hey,
were walking
loser.
over to where my mom was picking me up. I think it was actually at a park. You know when you're a little kid, you get overly excited when you see your parents again? Like after like being away from them for a period
Dude,
of time?
I used to always cry in elementary school whenever my parents dropped me off.
I got super excited.
Saw my mom that I kind of ran across the street without looking both ways and not really thinking about it. And when I ran across the street, my friend's parent was yelled at me. I couldn't hear her because I was already running across. As I ran across, I hear a right behind me.
Yo, 100 points, I got him!
Then he looked at his scoreboard and he actually didn't hit me.
Aww.
In that moment, I realized that I almost got hit by a car and probably would have died because of how fast that dude was going. Because I was like 5 years old.
You were almost not here to tell us what happened.
So happy you're here, Tuxie.
I have a story.
Oh, did you also get hit by a car? No, I can change that. Juicy might relate to this story.
I'm sure I will.
I was on the lake, fishing, chilling around the bay, you know, moving and grooving. Guess what happens? We're like, oh, there's a storm gonna happen. Big storm, ginormous storm. The pontoon stops working, and we're in the middle of the bay, and we can't get back.
Swim, Muffin!
We couldn't swim. You don't know how to swim? I was like 7. Pontoon boat is a fattish boat that relies on floats to remain buoyant. These pontoons contain much to reserve buoyancy.
Are you reading WikiHow right
It
now?
was all from the brain. Didn't look it up at all.
This is the biggest storm of the year. It's coming at us. We have no power. We can't run the boat. So what do? We call the guy.
The guy?
We tried everything to fix the boat and nothing was happening. My dad was freaking out. He thought we're all gonna die. Come pick up our boat and drag it to our little abode. You know what the big problem is? He's on the other side of the lake. You know how big this lake is? Off the dome, it's 207 square miles.
That's bigger than 2 feet.
That's a big lake. It's miles long,
Wow.
right? So he's on the other side of the lake. And the storm is like 5 minutes away from us. I thought we're all gonna die. We wait. Then the boat guy, like, I forgot. Hold on.
Wait, what if he came and
Killed
brainwashed
you.
you guys?
But what if he's actually a skinwalker and then ate you?
What if he's the reason the storm was there?
What if he's the airbender? What if it's Juicy? Whoa, it's me. Juicy came to us literally the last second. Not even lying to you guys, the storm was giant. There was white cats. The storm was crazy big. And he saved us the last second before he got hit.
Yes, I did. What can I say? I'm so strong.
As Juicy was going back to his place, he drowned. The boat like broke because of the storm and he died. That's the story. Scariest moment of my life.
Hey, if you guys enjoyed any of those stories, make sure to subscribe to all my friends and check out another video right over here.